of representation, and I know that it was characterized as a bottom-up, but to me, if there's a smaller group at the top making decisions, even if they've been granted some kind of authority, that is just by definition a top-down. Also, I would like to continue moving away from the paradigm of voting on everything, partially because this is a consensus process. That's one of the best things about Occupy, the Occupy structure to me. Also because we need to empower individuals. Individuals feel like other people and other structures are running their lives. And so we're not saying, so when we have a great idea, we don't need to vote on everything. We can say, yes, let's spread that idea around and tell everybody you had that idea, but we're not going to say that's the message of Occupy New Hampshire. And right now, it's good to keep this as purely a communicative structure, but in the future, I think it would be great to use this as a place to talk about issues. And I mean place loosely, because I think we should move around. Before you go to the
Sorry, if I can just clarify. So you believe that this forum is just best for internal organisation and communication, and no external or official communications to be issued from?
At the moment.
You mean to the world?
To the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that for now, yes. As even individual GAs, which have a lot more meetings than this gigantic GA. By gigantic, I just mean statewide. We haven't even gotten, for the Manchester, we haven't even gotten to messaging yet. And we're trying to get there, but we're not there yet. So I think it's premature to talk about messaging at a statewide GA. I'd like to do that soon, but not now.
So what if individual occupations want to then put their own statements forward? And so we have...
Go ahead and do that.
So at what point do we say your group isn't, I mean, you got just one person saying, I'm Occupy Pennacook, and this is what the Occupy state, I mean, how would that work if we don't make our statements as a state under consensus?
One thing that we always emphasize is if you're going to go and do something, or if you're going to talk to the media, say, I'm myself. I don't speak for...
Sure, but the point of making a statement on behalf of Occupy, if we're not going to do it here as a statewide organization, and you're saying Manchester hasn't done it, what if there's a group that wants to do that? You're saying that that's okay because they're Occupy too?
Well, we can't stop them. I mean, we can frown upon that, but we can't stop them.
Well, one of the ways we might be able to stop them is by using this group to do that, right?
Do we want to keep with this line of discussion, or?
Yeah,
Okay.
keep going, okay.
I'm just curious as to how you see the vision of, because Boston, Oakland, Chicago, Philadelphia, they've all made statements. We have not. And so where do you think these statements are going to come from?
We also don't have enough physical
I do think that statewide is the best way to do that.
Okay, all right.
And that individual GAs should definitely say, you know, they should say, well, what do we think the statewide GA could agree with us on?
Okay.
And bring that. Ben has a clarifying question.
I just have a question. If a local General Assembly said that we wanted to propose this as a declaration, could that be proposed here, taken back to whatever individual occupations there may be people present from, and then those occupations could vote upon that declaration, and then be brought back again as a statewide movement, and then we would say, has everyone said yes? Are there maybe some amendments we need to discuss from the different ones, and then do that?
More information.
There's actually one person.
That was a question. So,
I like that.
no, sorry, that was
Anyway.
Hold on 1 second, because he didn't get his question answered.
yeah, that was a question.
Yeah,
so I was
but-
It's funny if you're asking me, I think that's a great idea, but you want to make a proposal?
Well, we don't necessarily get to decide, we're not there yet. I think that that's pretty,
Something to think about, definitely.
okay, so hold on, because there's, Chris, and then Mark, and then.
Back here. If you wanna be contacted about the meetings or whatever, I think that's what this is for. You can put your email address right here, and, these clipboards are right here.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would just like to make a little point on, I mean, if you come up with a statement, whether you're Wall Street with 100,000 people, the world necessarily doesn't change. And to that end, I think that when each local group has organized their rallies and meetings in their own towns, sometimes they've protested banks, sometimes they've heard from anti-war speeches, and I think that within each of these actions is embedded a message, or several messages sometimes. It doesn't mean everyone's on board or 100%, and that's the nature, I think, of what we're doing, is that we're constantly going to be doing this, and if we all came together with 100,000 people in New Hampshire and said, this is what we believe in, it necessarily wouldn't be as impactful as you think of the constant participation, and I would just like to say that we're not a totally nebulous thing. When you're organizing and you have these there's marches and stuff, there's messages in that, and so that, don't worry about the core thing is sometimes the most important thing, but